Have you ever wondered how the world began? How did the universe, humanity, and life itself come into existence? In this video, we will go back to the very beginning and explore Genesis chapters 1 to 5, the creation of the world, the first humans, the fall of mankind, and the first generations of humanity. Before we begin, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss more Bible stories and explanations. Stay until the end because the final chapter reveals an important lesson about humanity and our relationship with God. Genesis chapter 1, the creation of the world. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. The earth was empty and covered with darkness, but God's Spirit was over the waters. God began his work of creation. On the first day, God created light and separated it from darkness. He called the light day and the darkness night. On the second day, God separated the waters and created the sky. On the third day, God gathered the waters together, creating seas and dry land. Then he created plants, trees, and vegetation. On the fourth day, God created the sun, moon, and stars to give light and to mark seasons, days, and years. On the fifth day, God created creatures of the sea and birds of the sky. On the sixth day, God created animals on the land. Then God created humanity in his own image, male and female. God blessed them and gave them responsibility over the earth. After seeing everything he created, God declared that it was very good. Genesis chapter 2, the creation of man and woman. After 6 days of creation, God rested on the seventh day and blessed it. God formed the first man, Adam, from the dust of the ground and breathed life into him. God placed Adam in the Garden of Eden, a beautiful place filled with everything he needed. God gave Adam one command. He could eat from every tree except the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. God saw that it was not good for man to be alone, so he created Eve from Adam's side. Adam and Eve lived in the garden in innocence, without shame, and enjoyed a close relationship with God. Genesis chapter 3, the fall of humanity. A serpent approached Eve and questioned God's command. The serpent convinced Eve to eat from the forbidden tree by making her doubt God's words. Eve ate the fruit and gave some to Adam, and he also ate. Immediately, they realized they were naked and felt shame. Because of their disobedience, sin entered the world. God judged the serpent, Adam, and Eve, and they were removed from the Garden of Eden. However, even in judgment, God showed mercy and gave humanity hope for the future. Genesis chapter 4, Cain and Abel. Adam and Eve had 2 sons, Cain and Abel. Abel was a shepherd, and Cain worked the land. Both brought offerings to God, but God accepted Abel's offering because it was given with the right heart. Cain became angry and jealous. God warned Cain that sin was waiting to control him, but Cain refused to listen. Out of jealousy, Cain killed his brother Abel. God punished Cain, but he also protected him from being killed by others. This chapter shows how jealousy, anger, and sin can destroy relationships if they are not controlled. Genesis chapter 5, the generations of Adam. Genesis chapter 5 records the descendants of Adam. It shows how humanity continued through many generations. One important person mentioned is Enoch. Unlike many others, Enoch walked faithfully with God, and God took him away, meaning he did not experience ordinary death. This chapter reminds us that although human life is temporary, a life connected with God has eternal meaning. So in conclusion, the first 5 chapters of Genesis reveal the beginning of creation, humanity's purpose, the entrance of sin, and God's continued plan for mankind. The story begins with a perfect creation, but it also shows humanity's need for God's guidance and redemption. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this Bible story, subscribe to the channel for more chapters and explanations from the scriptures.